to another episode of Q&A with Big J. I am sharing the screen today of one of our newly published camp calendars, and I really want to talk to everyone about all the great stuff we have in store this year for our campers and our staff, and give everybody a little bit of insight into how we constructed the calendars and the activities and events that you see here, maybe some activities and events you don't see. And then also go through some on campus activity information, take you through some of the new theme days, some changes to certain activities, and a couple of other announcements today. We have a lot of great stuff coming out over the next days and weeks and month as we get ready for the 2022 camp season. Um, so please feel free to follow along on your screen. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat. I can see all the questions popping up here. We're just waiting for some more viewers to hang on. As we go a little bit longer, we'll get some more folks on. We're also recording, and we will be posting our video up on our YouTube page and across all our socials as soon as we're done. Alrighty, just a couple more minutes, folks, and then we'll get started. Alrighty, so let's get started today. Welcome everyone again. It's Q&A with Big J. I am your host, Big J. Today we are going to focus on our newly published camp calendars and talk to you a little bit about the events and activities and theme days and trips and traditions that you see on the calendar. We're not going to go through everything today. We're going to have a lot more information that's coming out on our new website, which is set to be published this weekend, early next week at the latest. Just working out some last minute details over there. But we're really excited for you to see that and to see all the great information that's up there. One of the cool features of the calendar, and you may see it on your calendar, and some of them have uh, this feature already active, and some of them were waiting on it, but your calendar actually has clickable links. So for some of the activities and events and trips, you can actually click through and you can see more information about those particular days at camp. For now, there's a few of them active, and as I kind of scroll around here on my screen, you'll see in the bottom left hand corner some things pop up with the links there, and you'll see the icon change if you can see close enough on your screen. Um, it's the arrow right now. When I highlight over something that's a link, like Adventureland here, the big 60th anniversary of Adventureland this summer. That's on July 19th, bottom left corner of your screen. That's a link that takes you over to Adventureland. We're going to have this for every activity and event eventually. We are working on getting all that stuff activated on the calendars. If you've been with us for a number of years, you'll also notice that the calendars have a little bit of a fresh look. We like to spice things up every year, change some things up, and we've gotten some great feedback so far from parents who've seen the calendars. We published all of them this past week, a little bit the week before. They are all created in house, and that goes from the ideas of what we're going to do to designing the schedule and making sure that we can implement all the schedules throughout all 11 of our campuses, making sure that All of our trip venues are ready to go. All of our bus charters are ready to go. All of our great partners and colleagues who come in to perform for the campers have their schedules lined up. So it's a very big undertaking. And then we do all of our design work, all of the building of the actual calendar you see for each of the 11 campuses, all done in house. So we appreciate everyone's patience as we work to get these out. This past week, I know it's a big, exciting time of year for our campers to check out the new calendars to see what's in store as far as traditions, things we bring back every year, and theme days, which really take an entire day and kind of change it up and mix it up. And then also our big special events where we have groups come in outside of camp staff who really create the fun and the excitement for that day. So I want to take you through a few of the features of the calendar, and then we're going to talk about some activities on campus and some things like that. Any questions you may have, just use the comment section on this live post. Feel free also to send any questions or comments to info@campsrus.org, and I'll put that up in the comments here so you can see. We are, um, Q&A with Big J started as a live stream on Facebook last year, and we're really kind of transforming it into a podcast. And so we're going to be sharing the recordings through a podcast server, and we're going to be posting them that way. If you want to hear the first 3 official episodes of the new podcast, it's pretty simple actually. I posted one up to the Camps or Us Parent Association last week. We'll be putting up episode 2 and 3 next week. We also have all 3 episodes. They're streaming live when you call into the main office. It just has to be put on hold, and you'll be able to hear the podcast episodes. The first 3 episodes are me interviewing our founders, Gary and Joanne. For those of you who don't know, those are also my parents. So we have great interviews from the recording studio. It sounds wonderful. We decided we wanted to put those up instead of listening to some canned music when you're on hold here at the office. You can listen to the podcast, get some more insight into the camp program, learn a little bit more about our founders, learn a little bit more about all the new great things we're doing. We really have a lot of wonderful enhancements this year. So without further ado, let's jump into this calendar. I'm going to take you through out of order. I chose the Belmore campus here just because it was the one that was on my screen when I went on live. We were doing some edits. As you may know, the calendars are never 100% final when they're first published. So there's really not going to be many changes as far as schedule. Where you see things on the calendars where they're pretty much going to sit for the summer, unless something happens like a weather event and we have to move a venue or a trip day, or if we have any vendors who cancel, any performers who have to reschedule, things like that. If we update the calendar, it'll be updated automatically, so you can just re-download the new version. It'll just replace the previous version. Then we'll send out a reminder to all enrolled families via email, via Companion. If you don't have the Companion app, be sure to check that out. We're going to have a podcast episode dedicated to our camp technology coming up at the end of March or the early part of April, talking about our new app, our new website, the way you can communicate with us. It's really great. We've got some awesome stuff. But as the calendar's updated, you'll see the new version automatically appear. Anything with a change of schedule, change of date, we'll let you know. It'll also be pushed out to all our socials. It'll go up on our blog. You'll be able to subscribe to the new blog once the website's launched, so you'll get that information right to your inbox, so you don't miss a thing about camp. There's going to be a lot of updates coming out through the early part of spring and into the summer. So really stay tuned and check that stuff out. So here we go with some activities. So I want you to notice first the stuff on the calendar that is traditions for camp. So things that we do traditionally, things that we do every summer, that's just part of the fabric of what camp is like and what camp is for our campers. So you'll see on there some things, when I talk about traditions, we're talking about things on campus. So when I'm looking through the calendar here, the first thing I notice is that right in the center, dead center of the calendar, week 3 on the Belmore calendar is Pinewood Derby. That is an annual tradition for us. We've had Pinewood Derby at camp for many, many years. Pinewood Derby, for those of you who don't know, is where the campers are going to build a wooden race car. You build it out of a piece of pine. That's why it's called Pinewood Derby. Our cars are pre-cut, so we're not doing any wood cutting, but they can shape them a little bit more with sandpaper. They add the wheels and axles. They decorate with paint, name their car, learn all about how to build it and what it means to race a car. And then we have this year, actually adding to the tradition, we have a brand new Pinewood Derby track. It's 40 feet long, just like the old one. but this one has an automatic starter. This one has race results at the end, digital race results, so we don't have to have a poor counselor sitting at the end examining a nose to nose finish. We'll know who wins right away. And this year we're also upgrading the types of cars that we have. All the campers are going to get this really awesome. It's called the Grand Prix design, and it looks really cool. It functions really cool. You get to keep your car, of course, take it home as a memento. And every year you're going to be able to design and build a new car with Pinewood Derby. It's a really great event that starts as an arts and crafts project and really turns into an all-campus event where we have the races throughout the day on Pinewood Derby Day. If you look just to the left of that on your screen, it's a new activity that's related to Pinewood Derby called Speed Week. And Speed Week is kind of a new way of us implementing our go-karting program into camp. For those of you who've been with us before, we've had pedal go-karts on campus for many years. That program has always been something that's more of a secondary program. It's not really scheduled into our activities. It's something campers could jump on and play with when they were outdoors, usually on one of the courts outside if they were playing basketball or kickball or tennis or something. It was an activity to do when you were waiting for another activity. It was something kind of in between a regular activity and a scheduled activity. This year, what we're doing with our go karts is really making them into a 1 or 2 day. In this case, on Belmore's campus, it's a 2 day because of the size of the campus. A really big event. Speed Week is going to involve campers earning their driver's license. And if you could see me, I would be doing my air quotes, their driver's license here. So they're going to be going through some skill building exercises to learn how to move the go karts forward, backward, stop, turn, park, and all kinds of different obstacles and things they can do to earn their license. It's going to be a series of challenges for them. And then there's going to be a day where we set up our inflatable go kart track. And if you've seen it, it's amazing. It's a 60-foot inflatable go kart track. The kids are going to be able to do time trials and races and really jump in and have a blast with that throughout the days for Speed Week. So that's an enhancement to an already popular tradition with Pinewood Derby. We link those two activities because Pinewood Derby with the racing of the cars and then also with the racing of the pedal go-karts, it goes hand in hand. So we're really excited for that for Speed Week. It's going to be really great. Looking at other traditions, you'll see on here Crazy Hat Day. We love to do Crazy Hat Day. It's also an opportunity to do Crazy Hair Day. That's something we can add on there too. So it's not just hats, it can be hair as well. You see other traditions. We do a formal picture day every year. That's in week 4 here. You see it on the 18th, bottom left of your screen. Picture day is when the camp photographers come in. They'll do portraits of all the campers. We do group shots for all of the groups. You'll be able to sign up for picture day and let the photographers know this year that you want portraits taken, siblings, all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to do that right on our website when it gets a little bit closer to summer. One great feature this year we've added is that all campers get a group shot, complimentary group shot, so you don't have to pay extra for that. The other picture day fee, I believe, is $25. It's a sitting fee, and you get a bunch of different poses. It's not just one anymore. I think they do 2 or 3 per child plus siblings. So it's a pretty great value. You get all your digital photography, and then you can order prints and do all kinds of fun stuff online, or just share them out to your socials, whatever you like. Other traditions, a newer tradition for us on the 21st here on the Belmore calendar is Summerween. We borrowed Summerween as an idea from a Disney cartoon called Gravity Falls, where they celebrate Halloween in the summertime, a second day of Halloween celebration because they love it so much in that town. So we're doing that at camp as well. We really love to dress up and we love to party and have a great time. And Summerween is really an opportunity to have dress up and to have trick or treating and to do all kinds of Halloween activities right smack dab in the middle of summer. So that's a fun one. We have a blast with that every year. For the past number of years, we've had that. So I'm going to flip over the calendar to some more traditions. When you look at this calendar, by the way, this is the link. When you click on this on the website, and it's up on the old website right now. On the newer website, you'll see it's an even easier link to click on the location pages. This is the screen you get, and if you want to download this, on the bottom right-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, it allows you to zoom in. So you can kind of zoom in on, let's say, on Chuck E. Cheese right there. You can make it full screen, which I already have here. You can also share it on your socials or share it with a text message to a friend. And you can also download the PDF. So that's going to be important if you want to print this and you want to be able to have the calendar printed out. You want to download the PDF first. Don't try to print it from the website it's on right now. It will not print correctly because of the way It's layered in the way that the graphics are designed. You have to make it a PDF first. Right now, all the graphics with the links are in something called layers. And as you see, some of the images actually look like they're popping off the screen a bit. That's just some creative license there. It doesn't impact the actual, printing of it, but when you print it, all those layers are flattened down so you can print it and it looks nice on paper. So I'm going to flip to the second page here. Here we go. So now we were just looking at June and July, the last few days of June. Now we're back into the end of July and the early part of August. So you'll see other traditions on here. Berry Best Buddies. We actually just posted that the winning buddy for this year is the Smiley Monkey. Thanks for everyone who voted. Thanks to everyone who voted. We got 206 votes, and it was nose and nose. I think Smiley Monkey won by 1 or 2 votes if I check the tallies again. So we're going to be stuffing a monkey this year. Berry Best Buddies is great because we bring the stuffing machine to camp, and the kids get to stuff their stuffed animal. They get to give it a camp T-shirt that looks just like their camp shirt. They get to do a birth certificate, color that in, and then they bring it home and they have a buddy forever. It's pretty cool. I know our daughters have their Berry Best Buddies from over the years, um, and just think about the memories that they have and looking back at what year they made it. And we do a different animal every year, so it's exclusive to that year. And you'll also see, I think starting this year, we're going to add the year to the T-shirt as well. It was a great idea that came up in a recent meeting. So just to keep making that much more memorable, we'll have the Berry Best Buddies on the T-shirt as well. Moving through for some other traditions, the next one is the following week, Tie Dye Your Summer. We do a tie-dye project every year, and we've done in the past tie-dye socks and tie-dye t-shirts. This year we're doing tie-dye towels, so we're going to be able to make a towel with a tie-dye design. Kids will come home with it, give you instructions, of course, how to rinse it out, dry it off, and make it into a reusable towel that they can then use to bring to camp as their camp towel. For this summer, for future summers, use it anywhere you like. It's a really fun project, really creative project. We love that. Another big tradition you see here, it's got a new logo this year for those of you who've been with us for a while. For our current families, Color War is coming again. We've moved it up to week 6 of camp. That's for a couple of reasons that you probably don't want to worry about, but one of them is that the next week is the Mets game, so we didn't want to interrupt Color War for one of our big trips. So, and good news, they came to an agreement, so baseball is happening this year. We were getting a little worried there for a while, but if you haven't heard, the players and the owners got back together and hugged and made up, and it's going to happen. So that's wonderful. But Color War, for those of you new with us, big 3-day event. Color War is our big spirit, week where we go blue versus orange. We split our camp groups, our divisions. The programs get split down the middle into their colors. You'll know about a week or two before, so you can get prepped with your clothing and your face paint and all the decorations that you want to get. And the staff really take it to another level. And Color War is really about spirit and camaraderie and teamwork and all the wonderful things that make camp so special. A lot of competition. It's all friendly, healthy competition. And one team will be crowned the winner. Every summer we have either the blue or orange team winning, and it's a blast. It's something that really everyone looks forward to all year. It's a big, big, big event, 3 days towards the end of the summer. Another big tradition you see the Monday after, so we're going out of the week with Color War, coming in the next week with Shades Big Shindig. Shades Big Shindig is a fantastic event. Shades is our mascot. For those of you who don't know, Shades is our big sunny son who wears those big shades, those sunglasses, and we celebrate his birthday every year at the Shindig with a carnival, with rides, with inflatables, with cotton candy and popcorn and snow cones for snack. And the Shindig is really an opportunity for everyone to just have a great big old party. We also do barbecue lunch that day, which is great. I'm actually going to mention our lunch program in a future episode of Q&A. We're evolving our lunch program as well. I'll give you a little bit of a taste of it today before we go. Another big tradition that you see the following week, our talent show. Campers in our dance program, campers who have individual talents, they get to perform in the talent show. So you'll get more information about that starting in the first couple of weeks of camp as they prepare for that. We are excited to welcome parents back on campus to watch the talent show this year. I know the past few years we've been doing, well, the past 2 years specifically, we've been doing remote sessions, or we've been videoing it and sharing it out. This year, we're going to invite parents in to watch the talent show live, and we're so excited. We're really looking forward to getting back to a much closer to normal summer Honestly, all signs point towards a really getting back to what normal feels at camp, with a lot of enhancements, as you'll see. Another big tradition is our petting zoo. We bring in stepping out ponies. They do a pony ride and petting zoo for our Tiny Tots kinder campers and first and second graders. You don't see it on the calendar there. That's one of those updates I'll add in. So we have the time built in for our youngest campers. Older campers often get to visit the petting zoo. They don't do the pony ride, of course, they're a little bit too big, but they'll get to visit the petting zoo most likely. We can't guarantee all groups visit, so we don't put it on there on the calendar, but we definitely try, and most of the time we make it work. So that's pretty great. We haven't done Fiesta Day in a lot of years. It's been a long time since Fiesta Day, but bringing it back, and we're really excited about it. It's going to be a blast this year. Obviously, we're going to be looking at Mexican culture and all of the great things that go into planning a huge party, all kinds of fun snack ideas and project ideas and theme ideas. And you'll see more information about this get published as we get closer to the summer. So we're not just going to leave it here. We're going to give you a lot of information. You'll see things posted on the new website. We're going to have some great information going out, and then that'll also come out in your email, your companion app, your live streams on our social media, all that good stuff. So those are traditions. Those are things that we kind of do, on a regular or semi-regular basis every summer. Going back to the other side of the calendar here, I want to talk to you about some of the new things that you see on here. If you've been with us especially, you'll notice a lot of new cool things coming in. And it's pretty great. So the first one right there off the top is our foam party. So this is really really cool. We've got these foam machines, and the kids get to have a dance party, all their favorite songs, and like feet and feet of bubbles outside. Kind of just playing and having a great time. It's amazing when you see it, and so much fun. It's a great addition when we do our water activities as well, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. The foam party is really going to be special, and we're doing it twice at every campus this summer. So you'll see it here in Belmore, week 1, week 4. We have the foam party coming. Sure to be the highlight of the summer. One of the highlights of the summer. It's really going to be great. Next this year, we have a game show coming in. So we've done a game show in the past. A little bit different this year. We're bringing in a group called Holly Rock Entertainment. So this is more of a TV style game show. And it's all fast paced questions and trivia. And then there's all kinds of action packed physical challenges going on. Whole lot of fun. Really switching it up this year with a new style of game show. But we're expecting the entire campus to have a total blast with this. And Holly Rock is one of the best out there as far as providing entertainment for kids. So really looking forward to that. You'll see later in that week we have the New York Islanders visiting our Belmore campus. This is happening at 3 campuses in particular. It's going to be at Baldwin, Syosset, and Belmore. It coincides with All-Star Day, as you see up there. Kids are going to dress up as their favorite athlete. They're also going to make their own version of a team jersey at camp that day as part of their projects. But the Islanders are going to come and do some type of interactive activity with the kids that day. Again, that's at Belmore, Syosset, Baldwin. Very cool day. You'll see also moving down the calendar, the next one I want to share with you is the Graph Lab. That's right below the Islanders there. Graph Lab is fantastic. This is a hands-on graffiti workshop that comes to camp. The kids are going to make their own graffitied t-shirt that they can wash and keep and wear. And we've seen some of the work that the folks here at Graph Lab do, and it's unbelievable when you see the kind of stuff that they can create and how they can teach. That's one of the clickable links, by the way, already up on the calendar. So as I mentioned before, you can see what Graph Lab's all about by clicking on that box there. And we'll have additional information up on our website so you can see more as we get closer to the summer. Also want to share with you as we keep moving down, we have it's not really brand new. We've had young engineers come before, and you'll see that on the 20th. I think that's a little small on the calendar. We might make that a little bit bigger on the next version that comes out next week. So when you look at Young Engineers is a STEAM program. The guys and girls from Young Engineers come in, and it's for grades 3 and up. They do STEAM-based projects, whole lot of fun hands-on type stuff. And this year they're going to be building working circuits. So they're going to learn about how electricity works, how they can conduct electricity safely, and build these circuits that are going to power something. Really awesome, really great project for them. We always like to bring in some fun education into camp, and Young Engineers is really, hand in hand with us, uh, working towards that type of stuff. That week you'll also see is a water slide week. So if you've been with us the past couple of years, when the pandemic hit and we couldn't go swimming, we brought in inflatable slip and slides for the camps. And then last year, every campus got their own. So you could have an inflatable slip and slide every day. This year, we've added 3 monster water slides that are going to be traveling around to all the camps. And you'll see water slide weeks for all of the campuses posted on the calendar. So these water slides are fantastic. Um, they stay there for the whole week. They're for all ages, and they really just enhance our splash zone on campus. That's what we call it. With dedicated staff running splash zone activities, in addition to the water slides, there's still the slip and slides and water balloons and all the kinds of sprayers and all kinds of fun for the water activities on site. So when you see swimming, there on the calendar, you also got to realize every day of camp we have some great water activities running as part of our regular schedule too. Um, let's flip over to the other side here. Alrighty. We can talk about here where you see Pixie Dust and Pirates for our Tiny Tots and Kinder Campers. So this is a really great fun day. We're going to have some princesses and pirates visiting camp. They're going to have sing-along story time, lots of photo opportunities with the kids. It's going to be a really great event for them, really designed for our younger programs or early childhood programs, Tiny Tots and Kinder Camp. Um, so we're looking forward to having them visit. We have Mardi Gras Day. That's a newer theme day, but everything related to Mardi Gras and those types of celebrations with a parade through camp too, which I'm very excited about. You see there Joshy K. He's a new magician that we have coming to camp. He's not new to the magic world, but he's new to Camps R Us. Award-winning Long Island-based magician. He's been on Rachel Ray's show. He's been in the off-Broadway show in New York City called Illusions. Does some great work. Really hypes up and provides a super opportunity for kids to have a great time with magic. And he's really great with them too. We've seen a lot of his shows online. We've met him in person. He's fantastic. So we're really looking forward to that too. You'll see the next week we have another water slide week. So again, second week out of 3 for the Belmore campus. Next day there's Mad Science. So you're going to have a hands-on science demonstration. And the kids are going to be able to explore and create and uh, really get in with the science that's going on. And then there'll also be a performance at the end of the day with Mad Science. A lot of fun. You see here also the following week we have Nickelodeon Day of Play. So think about a full day dedicated to all the stars and wonderful stuff that Nickelodeon puts out. So all kinds of activities. We're going to make our own GAC, which is their version of slime. If you're on our Instagram, we have a video of us sampling our GAC recipe this summer. It's pretty awesome. And that's a day where wherever you go on campus, you're going to have a different themed activity based on a Nickelodeon character or a TV show. Pretty cool. You see there also Unity Queen Steppers. We're welcoming them back this summer. They are fantastic. It's an all-female step troupe coming to perform for the kids. And then in the middle of their performance, they actually take an intermission and they show our groups how to do the steps that they're going to do on stage. And then they do an interactive performance at the end of that. It's really great. And we've had them. We had them last summer, but we're bringing them back, and the show is just fantastic. The kids absolutely love it. Following week there, we have our third water slide week, and then the summer kind of wraps. So those are all of our big new events. We've gone through our traditions. These are our big events on campus, are some of our theme days. We're not going to go through too many trips today. We're going to talk about trips on a future episode of the podcast. But you'll see there's a mix of some of our traditional trips, like the big one is Adventureland down here in the orange box on the 19th. For those of you who don't know, Adventureland closes the park for Camps R Us. All of our campuses travel together, all of our staff. It's a fantastic day. It coincides every year with Camp Kindness Day, which is a big, big event. We usually do a fundraiser or a food donation program. Last year, we had a really great success with that. The folks at Adventureland are phenomenal and really take care of us and help us to take care of our chosen charity too. So that's great. But you'll see some other trips. Someone's making a comeback, like our fishing trip that used to be on the calendar every year. It's making a comeback this year. And some other ones on there as well. You see the Minions movie right there. That's another one we're looking forward to for all the campers. We'll do more trip information and that stuff as we get a little bit closer to summer. So I'm going to end my screen share here for a minute and come back on live. Hang on one sec, folks. Let's go back in here. I don't think it's going to let me in my screen share. The things you learn as you go. Okay, so what we'll do is, since we're on this screen here, I'll just show everyone what I was going to talk about. There we go. You can see my desktop there. It's got a lot of stuff on there, but let's pull up. We're going to go to our new website. There we go. Alrighty. So you guys are getting a sneak peek here of our new website. I'm actually going to shrink this down a little bit. There it is. Okay. Great. And we're going to do this. We don't quite want to go full screen. Alrighty. So this is our new homepage. We're not going to take a full tour of the website today, but I wanted to show you guys some cool stuff. Let's move that. Some cool stuff that we have on here, and specifically talking about activities. So when you see all the kinds of activities we have at camp, I don't think we've ever explained them on our website as well as we are now, or shown folks exactly what we do on a daily basis. There's a lot of cool stuff going on every day. So let's pop this in here. I want to go over to this menu here. We're going to just go into view our activities. So when you go into our activities page and you see all this stuff, and this is sort of in alphabetical order. The arcade one kind of got a little pushed over because it's got that apostrophe. So when you take a look here, we have on this page alone, these are 17 basically daily or semi-daily activity types. Now, types of activities, this doesn't include the specific things that we do on a regular basis. But when you look at these activities, there's a great mix of physical activities, there's a great mix of lower level activities, there's a great mix of indoor and outdoor, elective type activities, all kinds of cool stuff. From arcade to arts and crafts, clubs, court sports, which when you think of court sports, you think in hard surface sports, dance, EduCamp, which is getting a great update this year. We'll talk about that in a sec. Our field sports, field trips, which we love. Gaga ball at every campus. We have our own Gaga pits. You can see that one. I believe that one is at Williston Park. The game room, big special events, which we just talked about. The splash zone with one of our inflatable water slides there. It's a great one. Sports games in the gym, so indoor cooperative games. Swimming, theme days, traditions, and Wonderworks, which is a new category of activity for us this year too. So just kind of take you through a rundown of these. This is what our activities page looks like on our website, the new website that's getting ready to be launched. So this is the sneak peek. No one's seen this outside of the camp office yet. We're really excited about this. We've worked very hard to get this information out. And it should be coming out this weekend or early next week finally, with some back end tweaking, just all the coding and stuff that has to happen on the back end of things. So just talking about this stuff, when we talk about our mix of activities, the big thing is to focus on where the kids participate. So as most of you or all of you know, we have our campuses held at private schools throughout the island. And these schools provide us a great mix of indoor and outdoor space. So we utilize that indoor and outdoor space in a very great way, where we have the kids moving between the indoors and outdoors pretty consistently. So they're never inside for too long, never outside for too long. The only exception would be, of course, is bad weather. And weather like rain or even too much heat, we can come inside and cool off and have the opportunity to just move things to a lower level. But we have a great mix of activities. What's great is we can provide these activities in a structured schedule where the kids have 45-minute blocks of activity and the staff can lead them and facilitate them through all these great activities. But the specific activity or the specific sport or the specific game that you're playing changes up fairly regularly. So when you talk about field sports in general, let's click through and talk about that. That's a main activity outside. And when you go on the field, it's all kinds of great stuff. Where they can play soccer, flag football, kickball. And not just playing the games and learning the games, but learning the drills and the lead up games and what it means to be competitive in a friendly way, and really kinds of cool stuff that's going on there. As you'll see here too, whenever you click on an activity on the site, it reminds you that the campuses that have that activity, which is pretty much every campus has every activity except for a couple of exceptions, and then which programs. And our programs are based on grade or early childhood. That's our Tiny Tots and Kinder Camp sports track. At our Baldwin and Syosset campuses, that's for grades 3 through 8, looking for more of an athletic focus. And then our teen programs for 7th grade and up. Again, a lot of information we're not going to share exactly today, but just kind of showing you with the field sports there as an example. That's a primary activity. That's something we do at least 2 or 3 times a day. That combined with court sports, which is just the same idea but on hard surfaces. So you see them playing wiffle ball in that picture there. And then some indoor activities. We have the arcade and arts and crafts, and Gaga is usually indoors. We like to keep it air conditioned at most campuses. Game room. Those are not necessarily daily activities. Those might be semi-daily, meaning they happen a few times a week. And the way the schedules rotate and move throughout the summer, you'll see various groups using different activity spaces at different times. So what's great about our activities also, all of our main activities, arts and crafts, dance, educamp, sports, all the types of sports, the game room, the splash zone, all have a dedicated activity staff member leading that program. So when the programs arrive and when the groups arrive at that part of the facility, everything is created, designed, and implemented, right? So these are the 3 big steps for all of our activities. So we can look forward to something that is structured and fun and engaging and really encourages all the kids to participate at the highest level. And everything's themed and geared for age and ability. So we can modify things depending on which age group. And you see in all these different photos, different ages of campers. It works for everyone because our staff are really great at modifying and talking about all those great opportunities and making sure they're appropriate for each camper's developmental level and skill level, the size of the equipment, all that cool stuff too. So I want to talk about 2 really big updates to the program. The first one we'll talk about is EduCamp. So EduCamp is our educational program. We really designed it to be an aid in stopping what they call the summer slide. And if you've ever had a child who doesn't keep up on their reading skills or their writing skills or their math skills over the summer, you'll usually get a report back in September that maybe there's a little bit of summer slide and maybe we need to work on that in the early part of the school year. What we've done with EduCamp over the years is try to provide a curriculum that focuses on ELA and math. This year we've moved a lot of our STEAM-based activities into EduCamp, and now EduCamp is really going to be foundationally a STEAM program and secondarily a math and ELA lesson each week. So you're going to do a STEAM project each week. It's a 6-week program, STEAM project, and then an ELA or math lesson that corresponds. These projects and lessons also correspond to the theme of the week. So just going back to our calendar here, if you take a look at each week of camp has a theme day in there, right? So you see All-Star Day in week 1. You see the Luau in week 2. In week 3, you see Crazy Hat Day. In week 4, you see Summerween. And then going through the calendar on the back end, week 5, you'll see Mardi Gras. Week 6 is Tie-Dye and Color War. Week 7 is the Shindig. And week 8 is the Talent Show and Fiesta. So all of these things, these theme days, things that take over bigger events, will correlate to what we do in EduCamp. It's a whole lot of fun. The curriculum's been rewritten from the ground up. And, the folks here have done a really amazing job at making EduCamp super fun, super engaging. This is an elective program. Registration is free. Space is very limited. We have not opened registration for EduCamp yet. That's going to happen in April. Everyone who's registered for camp will have first dibs. It's for kids who are currently in grades K to 6. So it's an elementary grade based program. And you'll have the opportunity to sign up for EduCamp through your camp account. Once it opens, you'll get an email, you'll get a text through Campanion, and away you go. So EduCamp is really fantastic. Let's go back and show you the other one I wanted to mention. Brand new activity space on campus. It's an evolution that involves EduCamp. It's called Wonderworks. So Wonderworks is really our creative space, our maker space at camp. If you've been to camp before, if you ask your kids, they used to call it Innovation Lab. Innovation Lab really included a lot of STEAM activities, um, and and the STEAM activities there were great, but they weren't things that were really led by a staff member. They were kind of camper led, and that's wonderful. And having some of that less structured activity time is great. But in us moving our STEAM activities over to EduCamp, we're now able to focus on more building and creativity and sensory type equipment. We mentioned here on the website Kinetic Sand, Lego, and Play-Doh. It's really, really a great space, and WonderWorks is a space that's also now staffed with an activity staff member leading different centers and different activities. This one goes up to, I believe, grade 6. Once you hit 7th grade, you have other electives, and we'll talk about that on a later podcast and release some information about our teen programs. There's some fantastic stuff happening this year with teen workshopping and electives for them too. Um, One of the great things that we keep in the WonderWorks area of camp is our Crew News studio, and that's going to be a teen-based program this year. Our own news show that we're going to do each week, so it's pretty great. So you can see as an example, those types of activities that we offer. These are all of the things that we do at camp on a regular basis. It's really, really fantastic. Want to also talk about a couple of new things happening this summer. One of them is with our swim program. Let me pull up that information for you guys here. This is under our day at camp information right now when we talk about swimming. So the brand new thing that we're offering this year with swimming, and I'll highlight this area for those of you to see at home. I know it's small if you're on a mobile device, but you can zoom this up on YouTube when you get home. And it's also going to be right on the new website. It'll also appear on the swimming page. It just hasn't been added yet. So with swimming, we offer swimming once a week. It's a different day at each campus. You'll see that on your camp calendar. So if you go back to our Belmore calendar here, swimming happens on Fridays. It's a total of 6 times over the summer. So as we go through the calendar, you see it here on the 8th, 15th, 22nd of July, 29th of July, August 12th, August 19th, with a break in there for color war. But swimming's really great. We go to our local community pool, so you'll see which pool your campus goes to be listed on their location page, and I'll show you an example of a location page before we go today. So the big thing with our swimmers is that when you start camp, you're considered a non-swimmer, which means that you have to be in water less than chest deep. We use the buddy system. We have a really great supervision system, an aquatics program that is very highly regarded. It's actually the basis of an American Red Cross certification called Pool Activity Leader. So the certification that our staff get every year to manage the campers at the pools is called Pool Activity Leader. We actually helped to write the curriculum for it way back when. So we're very proud of that, but we are very careful. Obviously, swimming, we want to make sure everyone is safe at all times. We want to make sure parents at home have that peace of mind that we always like to talk about. Part of your experience as a parent is really making sure that you don't have to worry and that we're there taking care of your child just as if you were there. And that's really what it boils down to for us. Because honestly, our kids are there, my kids are there, and I want to treat all of your kids like I would treat my own, and we do. But we added a new thing this year. It's not all the way published yet, but it's coming, and it's very exciting. We've added swim testing pre-season. So this is pretty great. We used to offer swim testing in season, and it was okay. But what happened is it took a real long time to test all the kids by default. And a lot of kids didn't even want to go in deeper water. They just wanted to play with their friends or play in the splash park or go on the water slides. And it didn't require a swim test, but we had to test everybody. That was the rule when we tested in season. So we had to test all the campers. And when you think about a big campus like a Belmore campus with over 200 kids, that can take a long time. So what we came up with this year and what we think is going to be really helpful to parents who want to get their child swim tested and into a little bit deeper water is pre-season swim testing. So we've worked out a deal with a local pool facility on Long Island. We're going to release that information in the coming weeks, and you'll be able to sign up and take your child for our official swim test where they'll be put in the water. They'll be able to be tested for their swimming ability. It's a pass or fail system, so it's pretty easy. And if you're tested to be a swimmer, You'll be in water that's a little bit deeper. So instead of the chest deep rule, it's going to be a chin deep rule. So you get to go in water. It's about 6 to 9 inches of more water. It'll get a lot of our younger campers who are strong swimmers into deeper water, which is the goal, and give them the ability to be in the deeper pools, to go off the water slides if they choose. And then also campers who travel out to some of our venues that have water attractions like Splish Splash, especially. When you go out there, you have to be a certain height normally to go on some of those rides because of the pool at the end. But if you get that swim test, you'll be able to go into deeper water. It's pretty great. More details are coming, I promise. As we update things, we'll also, again, blog it out, email it out, social media, everything, so you can see exactly what's going on with camp this summer. But as you can see with our new website, it's really easy to read. There's a lot of information here. It's very mobile friendly, so you can check it out on your phone or your tablet. If you're on a desktop computer like I am right now, it works really well too. I think that's a picture from Belmore. Yep, I recognize the fence. That's a Belmore campus photo. I think from when I was a director there. But that's an example of something we're doing this year with the swimming. Let's bring you back over. I want to talk about a couple of other things before we wrap up today. And I appreciate everyone for being on our Q&A today. We're going to publish the video, as I mentioned, on YouTube, and it'll be up. It'll go in the new blog. You'll also start seeing podcast updates regularly as we start making this into an official show, and hopefully also taking some shows on the road and live at camp this summer. A lot of great plans we have in store, really kind of coming back to normal, but enhancing as we go. So we mentioned there was a big announcement yesterday. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it, we are moving our Hicksville campus. Our Hicksville campus is changing over to a new location. So I want to show you an example of a location page. This one actually still has the old information. Unfortunately, it hasn't been updated yet, but I'll take you over to our location page here on the new site. So you see there up on top, that's a map of all 11 of our campuses. And you can see our stretch right there from all the way west in Nassau County to kind of the western side of Suffolk with our St. James campus kind of all the way up here hanging out. Um, we have 11 fantastic locations, and our Hicksville campus, which is this one here, guys. Um, this one there is Hicksville. That's a picture of our 30-year home. We've been there since 1993, so this year would have been the 30th summer at our Hicksville campus. But this summer, they are doing some major renovations to the facility. All great stuff. They're enhancing their fire and security systems to make everyone safer who uses the building. All their students and teachers and faculty and all the users that go in there, all the great groups that are part of that community, and including Camps Are Us. We still have a great relationship with Holy Family School. I can tell you, I'm an alumnus of Holy Family School. Went there from kindergarten to 8th grade, 10 years of school there. I can even point out one of my classrooms right here. If you see my mouse moving there, that was my 7th grade classroom right there. My 8th grade classroom was across the hall facing out to the back field where I dreamed of camp. Meredith, I see your question, by the way. Just give me a moment and I will answer for you. So a lot of memories here, a lot of great stuff. You see this photo was taken during summer. This was taken in 2020, I believe. So with our drone, so we had fun with that. But that's our old campus. This one is moving, but as you see on our new location pages, when I click through, you'll see the new layout here. And this is going to change when this website's published. You'll see Holy Trinity School. Holy Trinity High School is the new campus location for this summer. We're very excited about it. Holy Trinity has really jumped in and helped us out of a bind. And we are super excited to be there. They provide even more great amenities than we had at Holy Family down the block. And I do mention down the block, it's literally around the corner. Holy Trinity High School is in walking distance from Holy Family, but by car it's about 1 minute away, literally. You can either just go a block or two south on Newbridge Road, or you can take the back roads. The entrance is going to be on Cherry Lane, which is the back entrance of the school. We've got a great parking area there. The amenities, as you can imagine, Holy Trinity High School resembles more of a university campus than a high school campus, and the folks there are fantastic. We've met with the principal, we've met with the athletic director, and couldn't be more warm and welcoming to Camps R Us and what we have to do. And we're working in synergy with their sports programs. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of staff coming in from the high school. So we're very excited. So you'll see this will be changed on the website as soon as we publish it. We'll be updating that stuff on the back end of things to Holy Trinity High School. Just showing you another location here. Let's go over to Belmore since we were talking about their calendar, and you can see all that information here. What's great about the new location pages is they update in real time. So our enrollment is active. You can click through to find out about the next open house, and you can see the camp calendar, which is right there. And what's great about the new website is the information is just easier to read. It's uh, easier to find what you're looking for. The menus, if you take a look here, if you're coming in new, you have all the information you need to learn about camp. If you're a current family, a little bit less there because you kind of know what's going on, but you can certainly come in and check out some cool stuff. You're going to want to see your calendars and your parent guide. The new parent guide is coming, should be out next week um, or the week after. Right now, we have the 21 version up there. One of the big changes to the parent guide this year, you will not see a section about COVID 19, which is really a relief for us and the entire camp community on Long Island. All signs point towards no new guidance for COVID, no new information as far as mask wearing, anything like that. We're really hoping this is the actual end of the pandemic. And, whether it's something we have to continue to live with or not, we're going to push forward and try to get back to as close to normal summer as possible with all these um, great things we have coming in. But you can get your copy of the parent guide right here. Right now, it is still published as a document online. It is the 21 version, so if you're looking at it right now, it still needs to get some updates. We were waiting to get the calendars out and get the new website up, but you'll have that access there as well. And it's pretty great. Meredith, just to answer your question came in, folks. When's the last day to change weeks if needed? Okay, the last day to change, the change date, is a new date. If you've been with us before, um, the change date is April 1st. And so that's a month earlier than normal. Um, and it's only 3 weeks from now. And we know that. So we got the calendars out this week. We're going to remind folks who are registered for camp, you do have until April 1st to change your weeks, change your days. You can unenroll completely. I mean, I don't know why you would do that, but if something happens, you have till April 1st. After April 1st, um, if you cancel or change things, we have a lot less flexibility, and there's a few things that fall into the reasons why. And the first and foremost is we're pretty much planned and set up and structured for summer. We need to know our group sizes. We need to know what our staffing needs are, scheduling our buses and scheduling our events and all that kind of stuff. We have all that stuff pretty laid out, and we can kind of expect what enrollment's going to be, but a lot of changes after that date with only a couple of months till camp makes it very difficult to run a summer as full and meaningful as this one. Um, so April 1st is the change date. What's great about us though is you can modify your schedule after April 1st if you're expanding your schedule. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. So if you look at our dates and rates um, here, and we talk about schedule, okay, um, the schedule, um, the dates of camp and all that cool stuff is right here. If you want to add on weeks or add on days in each week, you can do that as long as we have availability. You can do that after April 1st. And the reason why is we plot and plan out the summer based on campers coming to full weeks. It's just easier for us to plan things that way instead of breaking it down to the 3 or 4 or 2 even days that you may come in a week. So you can always add on, but April 1st is the last day to change or switch things, one for one, or to reduce. So keep that in mind for sure. It's important for you guys to know that. So I think we're going to wrap up at this point. We've covered a lot of information today, and I really appreciate everyone who's been on the live stream of the podcast. All the episodes of the podcast won't be live. We figured we'd do a live Q&A because we haven't done one in a little while. I'll certainly do some live ones throughout the early late winter, early spring, and into the summer. We're going to do some live ones from events and trips. We'll have some episodes going on. We'll have a lot of behind the scenes looks at camp this year, kind of giving everyone a vision of what we're trying to do. So just to recap, we went through the camp calendar here. As a sample, kind of went through our events and themes and traditions and trips, swimming, and the new look of the calendar. You see it kind of more reflects the look of our website, a little bit of a cleaner look. We also took you through parts of our new website, kind of a preview, to give you a little insight into what we've been working on, and so you can see all the great stuff that's on there. And we're really going to use that as a hub of all the information we want to share with you. So you'll see some changes before it's published, a couple little things that we're still going to work on. But if you're more interested in this, just look out for the unveiling, hopefully this weekend, if not early next week. And we'll be back with another Q&A very soon. Not sure if it's going to be next week or the week after, but please send your questions. Feel free to comment on this post, message us. You'll see there's a cool chat feature that links us right in to our messaging software with Facebook. So you can do a chat right from the website now. And we'll reply as soon as we can. Until then, thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Q&A with Big J.